In the dead silence of the night, stealth bombers crossed the skies of the Middle East. In under 7 minutes, 3 of Iran's nuclear sites were hit. The order came directly from the President of the United States. And now, the entire world holds its breath. Iran has promised full retaliation. Israel is bracing for an unprecedented war, and the United Nations is already warning of irreversible consequences. In this episode, you'll understand why this attack could shift global power and push the planet to the edge of collapse. This isn't a theory, it's happening right now, and the next few hours could define the future of us all. Welcome to MindVault. Today, we reveal the true risk behind the Iran-Israel-US war. The spark, how we got here. The war shaking the world today began long before the first missile was launched. Back in 1979, Iran became a theocracy, a regime where clerics rule as God's envoys, and the destruction of Israel became a national goal. Since then, Iran has funded militias like Hezbollah and the Houthis. Israel, in turn, sees Iran as the biggest threat to its very existence. But the breaking point came with something even more dangerous: Iran's nuclear program. As uranium enrichment neared weapons-grade levels, Israel, silently backed by the US, launched strikes deep inside Iranian territory. The world watched in tension, until the unthinkable happened. The United States officially entered the war. The US strike, the day everything changed. The announcement came in a single line from President Trump. It was a very successful attack. All aircraft are now home. But behind that sentence was the start of something uncontrollable. B-2 Spirits, the stealthiest bombers on Earth, flew beneath enemy radars. 30 Tomahawk missiles cut through the desert in complete silence. And then, the blast. Iran's nuclear sites, Fordow, Natanz, Esfahan, were struck. Trump himself claimed the heart of their nuclear program was destroyed, but Iran denied it. They said the radioactive material had been relocated, and that the real damage was far less than the US claimed. Still, one thing became clear to the entire world: the United States is no longer in the background. It's now at the center of the conflict. With a single strike, the US reactivated dormant forces and gave Iran exactly what it needed: a perfect excuse to retaliate. Iran's response: total retaliation. Hours after the American strike, Iran answered: swift, brutal, coordinated. Dozens of ballistic missiles were launched at Israel. Suicide drones flew over Tel Aviv and Haifa. Air raid sirens pierced the cities. Children and elderly rushed into underground shelters, and Iran's allies began to move. In Lebanon, Hezbollah issued a veiled threat. In Yemen, the Houthis launched missiles directly at Israel. In Iraq, Iran-backed militias vowed to resume attacks on US bases. The Red Sea, a lifeline for global oil, is now at risk. American warships reposition, submarines vanish from radar, and the Revolutionary Guard on full alert. Their targets are already marked: US military bases in the Gulf. But here's what no one is talking about. Iran hasn't used its most dangerous weapon. Not on the ground, not in the skies, but in cyberspace. Iran has advanced cyber capabilities. It can take down satellites, power grids, and financial systems within hours. We're facing an enemy that knows every blind spot in the West, and now has every reason to strike them all at once. The world responds. On the edge of collapse. When a missile flies over Tehran or Tel Aviv, the shock waves don't stop there. They cross oceans, they hit stock markets, and enter the homes of billions of people. Oil prices have exploded. Brent crude surged past $100. Gas lines are forming across Europe, and economies just starting to recover are slowing again. The world feels the shock, and its leaders feel the pressure. At the UN, Secretary General Guterres warned, "This moment could shape our collective future." China and Russia demand an end to the strikes. The Security Council is split. NATO urges de-escalation while reinforcing its military presence. Iran's allies like Hezbollah and the Houthis threaten new fronts. Meanwhile, Gulf nations silently begin to choose sides. In the real world, war doesn't need flags to cause destruction, just one sunken ship. One oil refinery in flames, one miscalculated move, one misunderstood strike. And at this point in history, the world is just one wrong move away from a global chain reaction. What's at stake? Power, oil, and the global order. Behind the missiles, there's more than fear. There's ambition, there's oil, and there's a war for the soul of the 21st century. For the US and Israel, Iran is a regime that threatens democracy and Middle Eastern stability. For Iran, Israel is an illegitimate force backed by Western imperialism. But deeper still, it's not just about politics or religion. It's about who controls global oil, trade routes, and the dominant narrative between freedom and authoritarianism. On one side, liberal democracies with unmatched military and global influence. On the other, theocratic and nationalist regimes who refuse to kneel to Western order. When these worlds collide, it's no longer just about winning, but about rewriting the rules of the planet. Control energy, and you control the economy. Dominate tech, and you control perception. Survive this war, and you may define the next era of human civilization. And the scariest part? Neither side is willing to back down. Are we witnessing the start of World War III? This is the question behind every news report, in every presidential war room, inside the halls of the UN, and maybe in your mind right now. Are we witnessing the beginning of World War III? The signs are all there. Alliances are shifting, borders are militarized, and decisions are no longer made by diplomats, but by generals. Iran threatens to block the Strait of Hormuz. Hezbollah vows to strike US bases. Israel talks about taking out Iran's top leadership. And the US has crossed the very line it once swore to avoid. Russia watches. China warns, if this escalates, the world will pay the price. And in the background, fear grows. Fear of a miscalculation. Fear of a drone misidentified. Fear of a retaliation that goes too far. Because that's how, and maybe we've already passed the point of no return. If you made it this far, you might be one of the few who still cares about the truth. Not the headlines, but what happens behind closed doors, where real decisions are made. The war is no longer a possibility, it's already begun. But the real question is, will it stop here? Or is this just the beginning? In our next episode, we'll reveal how this war could reshape global power and what world leaders are still hiding from the public. Subscribe now, leave a comment, and share this video with those who still believe information is a form of resistance. We're deeply grateful for your presence. And if the world collapses into chaos, at least you'll know why. You're inside MindVault, and this is just the beginning.
Thank you very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations, President Trump. Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history. In Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often say, peace through strength. First comes strength, then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United States acted with a lot of strength. President Trump, I thank you. The people of Israel thank you. The forces of civilization thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.
פגיעה ישירה, פתח תקווה, יש נקודים.
הנה נפילות. וואו, בבתי זיקוק. וואו, בבתי זיקוק, אחי. כן. וואי, גם פיצוצים. על הבוקר. הנה, יש עוד. תראה, עוד. הנה, הם עולים. תראה. מאיפה בתי זיקוק? וואו, יש פה נפילות. תראה. הנה, נפילות. וואו, בבתי זיקוק.